when you have difficult situations and things that one must overcome just to have a normal life. But think about what you really did do, probably paved the way for all the rest of many of us who haven't even had difficult times that difficult.
I've never told that story really on my shows because it's not about me. The shows are usually about these people I interview. Their stories are just as immense and just as transformational. And I love showing that you can do that.
Well, that's more credit to you then, that you're thinking of your audience and what that they want. But how that must have really been for you.
It was transformational.
Transformational.
Yes, and I changed everything about who I was. What I didn't say is this incredible experience I did have was I literally floated out of my body and started to watch the entire scene from above and felt the feelings of the medics and the EMTs and everyone that was helping me. I could feel their feelings and their thoughts and their everything, their desires. I was in this place of pure expanded consciousness where there are no boundaries, none whatsoever. The body I even saw was a boundary, and I loved where I was. It was beautiful.
Felt good.
It was seamless. It was so, there's not really words in this plane for it, but it was as close as I can describe boundaryless, pure consciousness. And where there is nothing that separates you from anything, and you are everywhere.
That sounds very divine.
Yeah.
Like where there is no boundaries and no gravity.
No.
And nothing to oppose you.
No.
Nothing
to separate you.
Nothing to separate you.
No containers to be in.
Did that inform the rest of you? Do you believe in that moment that informed?
It has done so much for me. It transformed my life in that moment because I looked back on who I was being with so many different types of struggles, and in that moment of existence when I was struggling with relationships and so forth, none of that mattered anymore. None of that did. All that mattered was moving forward, and my fear of death got removed as well, because if we go to that place,
that's a big one.
It's beautiful. You can touch and be everywhere in that existence. Unfortunately, we as humans can't so much reach to that plane because it is such a higher dimension, if you will, or state of consciousness. Mostly, it's such a different state than we're used to existing in this world, in this plane that we're in here. But that, I do feel that, and I've interviewed so many people who are talking, mediums and psychics, and talk to those who've crossed over and so forth, and what they share with what those souls bring in is the same exact experience. And I've had the wonderful opportunity to interview Raymond Moody several times, who is one of the leading researchers in near-death experiences, and he explained to me my experience without me ever saying that, but thousands and thousands of people that he's interviewed have experienced this same thing. I don't know if it's just an elevated state of consciousness, if it's a lack of detachment from an egoic state, whatever it is, it's beautiful.
Well, the wonderful thing it must also be is a place that you can go to even now.
Yeah.
To have
absolutely.
To maybe a place of memory
of peace.
Of peace.
Yeah. Of love.
Of love.
Of pure love. Of connection to everything. It helps me rise above some of the petty things, and I still get hooked by them, but I know that there's a different place. There's a different state of being.
When was that? When was that?
That was in 99.
1999. So here it is, 2014. And in the meantime, you became motivated to find solutions. Did you become curious? Was that?
Oh, ferociously.
Yes,
I am a ferociously curious person. I will travel through someone's life like it's my own. I can go into avenues with you and see pictures of your life, and I'm so curious about why people do the things they do. I've always been curious like that, even as a child, as why people do the things they do, why I do the things I do. Human behavior has always fascinated me.
Yes.
And I got a hold of a great book when I was young called Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain.
Oh, yes.
An incredible book. And when I was 12, I read that book thinking, I can create my own reality. What is this? You mean I don't have to live in this current existence?
No, you don't.
And so, you know, it was really wonderful to me to learn those techniques as a child.
Yes.
But as every adolescent does, you lose your way and you grapple for the truth and you find what's real and what's not. And I was, going through a lot of that in my childhood and my adolescence. But I learned that there was a different way of being a long time ago.
Well, I'm so glad you mentioned that too, because that's what we do in the Cafe of Dreams, is that creative visualization that you can have anything that your heart desires, that if you can dream it up, you have the mind that can bring it about.
Yes, but it has to be practical.
And it has to be practical.
I have that little twist on it because I have dreamt up things that have been far beyond my reach, come to realize my physical body can't quite handle this right now. And so I had to catch up to sometimes I would create faster than my body could get there.
Yes.
Because I really got good at that. I've learned, check all surroundings, make sure that it works in your life and for the good of others. Yes.
Now, when then you have written this book, is it written? Is it going to be published?
Yes, it's published in May of next year.
And do you have a title?
It's called Being Aware.
Being Aware.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Being Aware.
Something that you said at the beginning of the show.
That's excellent. Thank you. Well, we can't wait. I can't wait already. And that's going to be wonderful.